All right, guys, how's it going? I just had my shower. I told you in my last video I was going out for a few sherbets. I have to be out in town now. I have to be there at 2 o'clock, and it is bang on 2 o'clock local time. And I was in the shower, and I thought, I hadn't done the Trent video I promised, because he's in the news today in Madrid. So here I am. I've messaged my friend and said, you have to wait. My cock-talk people's waiting for me, you know what I'm saying? So listen, Trent is basically, obviously about Trent Alexander-Arnold, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. And this feature is basically telling you what the Madrid-based media especially are saying, the Spanish media in general, but, you know, Barcelona might be a little bit biased, you know what I mean? So basically trying to tell you whether it's good or bad coverage, you know, either bigging him up, either slagging him off, you know what they're like. Yeah, you know what they're like in Madrid. And I can't show you actually on the screen behind me because obviously I'm not in my office, but what I can do is show you, I put this on the members website this morning, and here is the cutout from the paper, if you like. As you can see, Mission Impossible Trent, okay? So it took up, that's one page and maybe, you know, a quarter or a third of the other, I guess. So a significant article about him today. All I'm going to do is tell you what they are saying. These videos, Trent, are not my opinions, because people, you know, you get these newcomers that come along there. Stop being so bitter. They're thick as two short planks. They're not paying attention, are they? This is what's being said in Madrid, whether it's good or bad. Mission Impossible Trent, the Englishman, a top-class right-back, faces a wall that everyone has crashed into since 2012, surpassing Dani Carvajal. The Madrid-born player is the best number 2 in Real Madrid's history, okay? This article was written by Miguel Angel Lara, based in Madrid, no surprises there, for Marca. Dani Carvajal is back against PSG with the match already decided and the World Cup final out of focus for Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso gave some minutes to the number 2. Behind him were months of suffering after the serious injury he suffered against Villarreal at the Bernabeu. That was in October. Now the fullback heads into the summer break with a thirst for revenge. His mission, to recover and defend his spot in a season that culminates with the World Cup. The 25-26 campaign begins with a major signing for his position, that of Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's not the first time he's faced such a situation. The precedents aren't exactly encouraging for the Englishman. After a season on loan at Bayer Leverkusen, Real Madrid brought Dani Carvajal back in the summer of 2013. Carlo Ancelotti had just taken over following the Mourinho era. Right back was a position that had generated debate and concern at the club. The name of Glenn Johnson, Liverpool's defender, was often linked in transfer rumours surrounding the Madrid club. Fucking hell, really? I don't remember that. Carvajal and Arbeloa shared the right-back duties in the team that would go on to become European champions in Lisbon. As the season progressed, the battle for the starting spot tilted in Dani's favour. He held that position in the key moments. The decision to bring him back paid off. He grew so much that he was very close to making the World Cup squad. Although in the end, Del Bosque opted for Azpilicueta and Juan Fran. With the Champions League trophy back at the Bernabeu, Madrid stuck to their plan at right back, but that season ended with a major shift. The elimination in the Champions League semi-finals against Juventus led to Ancelotti's dismissal. Rafa Benitez's return to the Madrid, for sure, to the Madrid dugout, and the signing of a new right back, Danilo. That was the first season in which injury seriously disrupted Carvajal's path. He left the Champions League final in Milan in tears. He had to say goodbye to the match before the hour mark and to the Euros as well. I'm melting here because I've just got out of the shower. I'm absolutely melting. The 2016-17 season was one of a dominant Madrid. With Zidane at the helm, the team won both La Liga and the Champions League, something that hadn't happened since 1958. In that Madrid side with two strong squads, as Rafa Benitez would say, squad, for sure. The best of the Zidane era, Carvajal was the undisputed right back. Zidane's invention, it says next. Of the 13 Champions League games, only 3 were played by Danilo, 2 in the group stage and the second leg of the semi-finals against Atletico Madrid due to a Carvajal injury. Under pressure from the competition with Carvajal and with the Russia World Cup looming, Danilo decided it was best to seek a starting role elsewhere at Manchester City. In a season that ended with another European Cup added to the trophy cabinet at Valdebebas, and with Carvajal injured in the final against Liverpool, leaving him barely fit for the World Cup, Zidane turned to Nacho as the right back. And towards the end of that season, he came up with something no one expected to have such longevity, Lucas Vazquez as a right back. That trio has been key in helping Madrid secure 2 more Champions League titles between 2019 and 2024, those in Paris and London. In the summer of 2018, on the verge of the collapse that followed Zidane's and Cristiano's departures, Odriozola arrived. He had just been included in Spain's World Cup squad for Russia, with the coach who gave him his debut at Madrid. But he barely featured under him, nor under those who followed. Years have passed since that distant 2013. Carvajal has built a legendary status that makes him the best right-back in Real Madrid's history. He missed almost an entire season, the pandemic season. But since then, muscle injuries have disappeared from his life. The famous broccoli diet had a lot to do with it. Now he prepares for a special season because it marks his return after an extreme injury, because the 2026 World Cup is a key goal for Danny, who has yet to experience one in full, and because looking to the future, Madrid have signed a top-level right-back. But no one needs to explain to the Englishman what Carvajal means at Madrid. Now, one thing I've learned since studying La Liga, studying the papers for the last year or whatever it is, 9 months, I don't know, since I started doing it, because of the Trent situation, is how much they absolutely adore Carvajal. And this is stuff that I would never have really known prior to, following these reports when Trent was, being mooted as a potential target of theirs. And in that time, I have learned that, as you can probably tell from this article, the Madrid-based media, this guy's like fucking God to them. He really is. Which makes Trent's situation obviously interesting, because many people that were a bit more, wise to Carvajal than me at the time were saying, Dunk, where does he fit in once Carvajal's back? I mean, Trent's the future, right? Carvajal is, he's not getting any younger, but he's still the main man. And when all the Trent speculation was ongoing, before it was announced he was going there, there was a lot of Carvajal would pop up, and it'd be like, no, when I'm back, I'm the main man, I'm the fucking daddy around here. So this is going to be interesting. They could, of course, play Trent further forward. This is interesting, especially when La Liga gets underway. So my intentions, as usual with this feature, is just to tell you what the Madrid-based media are saying, and the other, areas of the Spanish media. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Barcelona are going to take shots and stuff like that, Sport and Mundo Deportivo. Newcomers to my channel, they just think this feature's about taking the piss out of Trent. Let it go, he's not a Liverpool. Fuck off. Some of the grown-ups, right, want to see how he does, right? Because many of us were like, is it going to work out for him or not? So I have a real interest in seeing how he does. And if he does well, I'm going to tell you he does well. If he does shit, I'm going to tell you he does shit. And I'm going to relay to you guys, to save you having to try and find all this information yourself, exactly what they're saying. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that. I was going to call this feature Trent Watch, but my regulars decided they wanted it to be called Traitor Trent. So if you've got an issue with the name of this feature, take it up with them in the comment section. But if you're new around here, I don't think they're going to give a fuck about your feelings, just saying. Right, as you can see, I'm melting, right? And I've got to go, because I've got a pint of Magners waiting for me somewhere, I think. And I'm going out for the afternoon. So, all right, guys, listen, have a great day. Let me know what you think. What do you think when Carvajal's back? Is Trent going to be played further up, or is he going to be on the bench? Let me know, guys. All right, take it easy. Have a great weekend. If you enjoyed the update or whatever, please thumbs up the video. If you're one of them whiny motherfuckers, oh, I'm going to change the trend, grow up, right? Then thumbs it down. All right. But you keep an eye on the comment section to see if you're on your own with your feelings. Yeah, post me a comment, guys, and if you want to get me a beer or a coffee, and there's a love out under the video, all right, and there's links in the video description, because one is going for my weekly drink now. All right, my friends, you take care, and if you're having a bevy tonight, be good, be safe, be sensible, all right, guys, take care, man, and we'll regroup real soon, I hope.